Let's take it away with Sam. Sam's calling from Orlando. A question about his Prius. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, hello. I have a hybrid, obviously a Prius, and the issue I'm looking for is how do you know when it's time to trade it in if you don't want to get stuck with a big charge to replace the major hybrid battery?
You know, Sam, this is the key to it. All right, with a Prius, and a hybrid car, you're gonna it's the smartest, I guess, fuel efficiency that you can probably buy, because see, you do save X amount of money because of the hyper fuel economy that you get out of the vehicle, which that's all great, fine and dandy, but when you go to replacing a battery in a hybrid, the average is somewhere between $2,500 and $3,500, which to me, as a mechanic and a shop owner, I don't think that's a big deal. Really, in the whole scheme of things, let's say you keep the vehicle 8 years, and let's say you wind up having a battery issue. You spend $3,500 on it, and you probably put another 150,000 miles on the vehicle, which is a pretty good deal. So really, from my perspective, you don't really have much room to complain, because you're going to way more than offset that during that period with the amount of fuel economy that you're getting out of the vehicle. So it would actually way pay for itself. What gets me though, Sam, see, if you're dealing with a pure electric vehicle like a Tesla, and you call me up after about 8 to 10 years after the vehicle is out of warranty, and you say, Larry, how much is it going to cost to put in a new battery? This is the difference. Right now, the battery for like a Model S or something like that is about $24,000 plus installation. Now, let's take this into consideration. They will probably always be batteries around for hybrids. But let's say we take a 10-year-old Tesla or some of the new electric vehicles that are coming out here online now. When these things are 10 years old, do you really think that they will have replacement batteries available for those vehicles? See, the battery technology, especially for pure electrics, changed so fast that they quit making a particular series of battery that's no longer compatible with the older vehicles. So what we're going to wind up with is vehicles that are just, you're going to be sending these things to the junkyard, 8 and 10 years old. They'll look like brand new vehicles, but they're going to be going to the junkyard because nobody's going to spend 30 grand to put a battery in one, even if you could get the battery. So, in my opinion, if you're really trying to get hyper mileage and get great fuel economy, and you want something that's actually affordable to repair whenever it comes time to, put a battery in one, then the hybrid's the only thing that really makes sense. And like I said, but you got to look at it a little different than, okay, well, if you wanted to really just avoid any type of battery replacement, it'll cost you a fortune to do it, but you can either go back with a pure internal combustion engine, or you can lease an a hybrid vehicle and, just trade up about every 3 years. But what it's going to cost you to lease that vehicle, yeah, it's just really, that wouldn't really, you're not going to save anything by doing that. But me personally,
I'm used to having cars for 8 to 12 years.
Yeah, and I think
I'm used to having cars for 8 to 12 years. So if you can do that with a hybrid without, the cost is worthwhile, then that sounds like a great solution.
Yeah, I mean, if it needs a battery, put a battery in it. I just think long term, I wouldn't worry about it with that kind of money. Now, if I had a pure electric vehicle, I would stay up at night. It would keep me up at night. I wouldn't be able to. The thought of having to dump 25 or 30 grand into a car 10 years from now would drive me insane. I would, shoot, that's like sending a kid to college, for God's sakes. I'm like, I just don't see to where it's practical. I like the idea of being able to keep a vehicle on the road as long as I want, and, without it breaking the bank. Well, in this case here, I think you just replace a battery whenever it comes time for it, and we'll smile at the same time thinking about how much money you've saved in fuel over that period of time. Sam, thanks for the call. You have a great weekend.
Hey, you got time for a quick question? A quick second one?
Yeah, I guess we got time to work it in. Go ahead, quick.
Oh, okay. So your first caller talked about when you change the starting battery of a hybrid. And I was just on the way to do that, so I made sure that they plugged in a memory minder. And I still, even after they had a memory minder on it as they changed the battery, it came out with a PKSB error, which is the collision avoidance system didn't start up right. So is that something I have to go to the dealer for to get the collision system working again, or is there a way to bootstrap it without going to the dealer?
You know what? I would have to find out. I would have to look and see what we're capable of doing with that. Sam, sometimes, see that car, if it's got adaptive cruise control on it, it actually has a radar system in the front of the car. And if the radar system lost its programming, so to speak, then, we would have to see if it's just simply a reset or whether it's got to be completely reflashed. Now, a lot of times on these vehicles, like I said, you can put in a memory minder and they'll just plug into whatever inside the car. But realistically, I like the idea of putting a jump box on the cables. That way you do not, lose the amperage, and you just got to have a technician to take his time and lift them off of there. You don't want to cross anything or short anything out. But when you put a jump box on it, you're going to keep plenties of amps in that system, and you're not going to lose anything. So at least they gave it a good shot and tried.
They made an attempt, but your advice is the best. So thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for the call, Sam.